Yeah, I've definitely not got all of the trophies or Book of Fables entries in this playthrough, but that's fine. What I'm hoping is that playing the game in other ways and different playthroughs will unlock everything else, because sometimes I can be... Sometimes I, like, get too tired and lazy to be a completionist, but other times I'm like, oh, it's really bugging me that I've missed, like, this trophy or this achievement or this quest or whatever. It's a perpetual struggle between the two wolves inside me, you know? Let's do a quick refresher of our choices in the last episode. Okay. So, did you send Colin to the farm? You and 85.5% of players decided Colin should not go to the farm, obviously, because I'm not a racist and I hate prisons. Did you attempt to remove Nerissa's ribbon? You and 63.8% of players did not try to remove the ribbon because I'm not insane, and I know that women have boundaries, especially when they're being abused and exploited. Which crooked operation did you investigate first? You and 63.2% went to the cut above first. That was the butcher, where we found the illegal glamour lab. Did you send Toad to the farm? You and 73.3% of players decided Toad should not go to the farm. Again, consistency of not doing a racism and not supporting the prison industrial complex. How did you respond to the crooked man? You and 43.7% of players lit a cigarette. That's right. Okay, we've gone to meet the crooked man. We've gone to meet the crooked man, and that's where we left off. So, exciting. Before I return to our conversation with the crooked man and finish this game, I'd like to quickly remind everyone that we are still raising money for medical aid for Palestinians. If you type in the command !Palestine in the chat, then that will bring up the link to our fundraiser. Every little helps, and we really appreciate anything that you have to spare that you can donate. We really appreciate it. Our goal is £2,000, and it would be so amazing if we could get even a little closer to that goal before Christmas. If you have any money to spare, money that you might have, you know, spent on a little Christmas present for yourself or something that could instead go to the Palestinian people in Gaza who are desperately in need of medical aid, then that would be amazing. And as always as well, if you'd like to learn more about BDS, which is the Boycott, Divestment and Sanctions Campaign, which is one of the major ways in which we can show solidarity with the Palestinian people and move towards a long-term political solution which makes them autonomous over their own country, their own land, their own destinies, then you can check that out at the BDS website, and you can learn more about Palestinian history and the Palestinian struggle over a decolonized Palestine. Both of those links will come up if you type in the command !BDS. Whew. Okay, episode 5, Cry Wolf. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
I mean, your eyes and the teeth. You're not really supposed to do that, are you?
Got a big shadow of Bigby in his wolf form.
Not if I can avoid it.
As the preview image. Rest in peace, Faith. We hardly knew ye.
No.
Holly's sister.
Rest in peace, Lily.
Do you even give a shit about us? The strays.
That's why you can't tell me anything. It's the ribbon, isn't it?
We're destroying the tree.
Oh my god,
No!
yeah, Snow White has been on her fucking white woman
We're not burning
shit.
the tree, Snow.
Well, it's in the name,
Hey,
right? It's
you're
Snow
not
White.
really gonna send me to the
Snow
farm,
White
are
woman. Some might say middle name White,
Look,
surname woman.
Maybe a few will get sent up, but you're my friend, Colin. I wouldn't do that to you.
Oh, Bloody Mary. I almost forgot about you. Hi, Jason Bourne. Welcome
This
back.
time was no joke. Eat as many metal shellings as you see fit, but take just one more silver round near your heart, and the only place I'll be visiting you is the morgue.
Bigby, wait. When you get the Crooked Man, make sure you bring him back alive.
Okay, I have a feeling
He
we're
has
gonna
to
get a
stand
big
trial.
decision whether or not to kill the Crooked Man.
Why don't you have a seat, Sheriff? We have a great deal
Because
to
Snow
discuss.
White thinks that she's all about law and order. Ooh, we're going straight into the title theme today. It does go hard. I gotta give credit where credit's due, you know? I know it sounds like every single like 80s noir theme ever, like synth noir theme, but it's still just really good, you know? What am I gonna say? What am I gonna do? Some things are cliches for a reason. Episode 5, Cry Wolf. I assume this is a reference to,
You've come a long way.
you know, the whole the boy who cried wolf thing. We'll see.
You must be tired. And if my envoys are correct, you haven't had a lot of rest recently.
No, because he's a man. He's too manly for rest.
Please, Sheriff, relax for a moment, will you? Do you want a drink? Something to eat? Vivian makes a very nice, very...
Ooh, cheese board.
It's elegant. Really, a carpaccio. It's lobster. Sirloin. Well, gramercy me. Take a seat at the very least.
I'm here for one reason, and it's not to eat your fucking food.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think you're doing?
He's gonna.
Mr. Wolf is our guest, and I have every intention of cooperating.
Right, of
So
course,
don't
he's one of
waste
those
the
guys
silver.
who's like, oh, I'm so
Sit
civil.
down, Jersey.
One of those villains, that is.
Well, Sheriff, for the sake of transparency, why don't you tell us why you're here? It would help settle everyone's nerves, I think.
You know why I'm here. You killed those women.
What women?
Faith and Lily, the girls who worked at the Pudding and Pie.
Did I now? I assume by your confidence in accusing me, you must have some proof of this, yes? Some allotment of evidence. A witness, perhaps. Hmm?
I know you did it.
I'm sorry, Sheriff. I wish you had me dead to rights. I really do. For your own sake.
God, he's wearing a
But no,
turtleneck and
I
gold
didn't kill
chains
anyone.
right now.
Those women.
Have some
I don't
self-respect,
relish telling
man.
you that the killings were perpetrated by an employee of mine. It's a very unfortunate bit of business, but I promise you that the matter will be dealt with internally. I just want to settle the issue for you, and to assure you that it's over with. You really don't need to worry yourself further.
An unfortunate bit of business. You're gonna tell me right now who killed him.
Sheriff, I have complete respect for you and your job. I hope you know that. But I simply can't divulge that information. You really shouldn't worry yourself. As I said, I've got this under control.
No, I'm gonna deal with it right now.
Yeah, right. What do you think this is? Some kind of negotiation? The man said he'd take care of it. So why don't you take the hint and get out?
Tweedledee, please.
I'm already pissed off. You don't want to make it worse.
You think I'm scared of
Maybe
you?
I should have killed him.
You're nothing more
That's
than a...
enough.
You know what's
I
funny,
was hoping
though?
it wouldn't come to this, but
Sorry, one sec. What's funny to me, I don't know if I said this earlier, but I kind of think that every time Bigby is like trying to be threatening and being like, oh, I'm such a scary, manly man, I can't really take his voice seriously. He's got such a dweeby little voice. So every time he's like, I'm I'm the law. I'm like, okay, buddy, sure you are. Whatever. I don't know how to explain it. I just think he sounds like a dweeb.
If you have to know.
He has a voice I can't take seriously. It was Georgie. Okay.
However, like I
That
said,
tracks.
I'd be handling the matter if you don't mind.
Georgie.
You got what you wanted, so just
Sit down.
Hey,
now.
hi Lost and Fairy. Thank you so much for resubscribing at tier 1 on a 22-month streak. That's almost 2 years. How crazy is that? In a couple of months, that'll be 2 years. Thank you so much. How's it going? It's going, you know. Had a pretty bad day, to be honest, but I'm glad to just, yeah, decompress a little bit, play some games, hang out. How are you doing? And how is everyone? Feel free to tell me about your day if you so choose.
Yeah, I killed him, so what? You should have just kept your nose where it fucking belonged.
Georgie.
Why'd you do it? Why kill them?
Does it matter?
Look, the fact is, George here misinterpreted one of my instructions.
Misinterpreted?
And I want to make things right. So, let's
I'll
work
kill
something
him.
out.
What's there to work out? I'm protected,
Nah,
aren't I?
Your
I'ma
protection
kill
has
you.
limits, and I think you've far exceeded yours. But you could murder someone in cold blood like that.
You fucking asked me to do
I don't
this.
care about-
You
And then
told me
attempt
to kill
blame
him.
me
I don't
for
care about
it.
being the law, but I do care about being justice. And in this case, I'm judge, jury, and executioner. Georgie fucking Porgy.
You will be silent while we discuss what to do with you.
This is right bollocks, sis. You're just gonna let him do this?
So what do you say, Sheriff? Can we discuss terms? You can have Georgie. Consider it a gift, ensuring our continued cooperation.
What the hell?
Take this fucker. Take all of them. I didn't fucking
don't
start
make
this.
any trouble, Georgie.
Are you seriously throwing me under the fucking carriage after everything I've done for you?
I think I'll be taking both of you.
You're not taking me, you fucking pulse. What the fuck is this shit? You said you'd cover for us.
Might be careful to say that in other circles. People love Steve Bloom. Is Steve Bloom the voice actor for what's his name? For Bigby. I mean, he's fine. I just think he has a dweeby voice, and I think I think that he's meant to sound serious and manly, but to me he just sounds like a dweeb. And I just think that's funny. It's nothing against him as a person, as an actor. I think he's fine. He's doing a great job of acting, but I just think it's kind of funny. And also, if it's a thing about people feeling fragile about Bigby being particularly like masculine or manly, then that to me just makes it funnier. That would just make me double down, to be honest.
For minor infractions, not murder.
Just go with him, Georgie. You're gonna sink us all.
What's wrong with you people? You're really gonna sell him out just like
You
that?
think I give a fuck if I'm the one? Who the shit do you think you fuckers are?
Get the fuck out of
I
here.
do apologize, Sheriff, but I think it's best if you leave now.
There's no way I'm going with him. Are you kidding me?
Things are about to get unpleasant, and I would rather you weren't here to watch.
You can go join that whore at the bottom of the lake for all I give a shit. But he's not taking me anywhere. I'll roll over on the lot of you before I let that shit happen.
What are you saying?
Yeah, what the fuck? You're gonna make sure we all go down this shitter with you?
I told you.
For now, I'm gonna grab
Get the
Georgie.
fuck away from me. He's the one you fucking want.
This could have gone so well. But you just had to complicate things. To speak the truth, I've never been a very good mediator. Why negotiate when you can just decide?
My ideal situation here is to fuck you both up. Oh, hi, Mary. Hi. Hey, girl.
Did I miss anything good? Well, look at you, all fixed up.
Listen, Mary, it doesn't have to be like this. You and me, we can be on the same team. I mean, spite is a vibe, so yeah, and
Take this!
if there's one thing about me, it's that I love doing things out of spite.
You're done, Wolf.
Come on, we're pretty much done here.
I'd like to say it was nice knowing you, but I'll be glad to see your insides turned out.
Got him! Now!
Nice. Okay, I mean, given the opportunity, I'm gonna commit some murder. Because fuck Georgie, fuck the Crooked Man.
Oh god.
I mean, this is revenge for all of those sex workers. I mean, again, I would rather that this was a story where sex workers have agency to seek their own justice and fuck the police and fuck the legal system. But this is the only option I have, so this is what we're doing. Foiled once again by the linear narrative structures that games put me into.
Come on, George.
Beginning of the end.
Shit!
I know.
Drama. Okay, fuck you though, Vivian. Traitor. You I wanted better from, you know? Have some fucking solidarity. Against these horrible, oppressive men. It looks like I've got a timer. But it's like a timer to do what, you know what I'm saying? Shit. Catch up with chat in a second because it looks like I gotta. Come on, I did the thing. I genuinely did. I know you have no way of confirming what I'm saying, but you guys have to trust me. I did the thing. I pressed the analog stick.
Fuck! What was that?
Aha! I did it. Okay, slay. Thanks, Faye, for believing me. Appreciate that. The beginning of the end of the beginning of the middle. I know. If I had a fucking penny for every time some game was like, the beginning of the end is the name of the trophy or achievement or whatever.
He's not moving.
Keep going!
I'm gonna fucking kill you, Georgie. I've decided. You will never exploit sex workers ever again. I'm gonna end your life.
Come on.
Fuck it.
Listen, I'm not saying that the life lessons that I'm trying to teach have any parallels with recent events and certain people that shall not be named, but who I do support in their actions. And if anyone says that they committed cold-blooded murder, then they're completely wrong, because the individual killing of an oppressor is no violence compared to, or is justified violence compared to the systematic violence of an oppressive system that kills people every day for profit.
I need a minute.
Enormous numbers of people. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, if this situation happens to have any applicability, then that's a complete and total coincidence.
Hello, Bigby. I hoped you'd come to your senses.
Now, mate, I'm gonna kill you.
Crooked Man's the one you want. But of course, you're too much of an idiot to see that. Or maybe you just like me too much to let me go.
I will also get Crooked Man. I can have both.
Please, Sheriff. Haven't you done enough? Look at him. He's dying.
You can't seriously want to protect this guy. You know what he did.
I'm not going anywhere. It isn't his fault.
He's a murderer. Faith and Lily, he's the reason they're dead.
Look, I know he made a few mistakes. We
Vivian,
all have.
this is not it.
What? He made sure they couldn't talk with those damn ribbons, and then he killed them. You're wearing one yourself. Doesn't that bother you even a little, knowing that man murdered...
Of course it does. Those girls...
So it's all my fucking fault then?
I
You
didn't mean...
fucking...
Vivian, get a grip.
You're gonna throw me to the fucking wolf too? You know I didn't have a goddamn choice. What the fuck? I did what I had to! You can't fucking blame me for that.
You didn't have to do anything.
Like hell I didn't. Look,
Oh, poor
Faith and the others
me.
tried to
I
pull a
got
run on
forced
us,
to kill
and as
some
you can
vulnerable
imagine,
sex
the Crooked Man
workers.
wasn't too thrilled. But of course, the big boss didn't want to get his fucking hands dirty. So he told me to take care of it. You think I don't know what that means? Either I do what he says or I'm the one getting dealt with. So I fucking killed him. And I'd do it again.
Oh, okay, no remorse.
'Cause it's not
so
my
I'm gonna
fault.
kill you. That's right.
You think that'll help? You still haven't learned, have you? Still the same old fucking moron. Go ahead and kill me
Yes.
then. But it won't bring back Lily or Faith. It won't free your friend Narissa. And I'm just the sap taking the fall for the whole thing. It must be so easy being you. Just come in
Oh
here
my
and blame
god,
me for
I
all this
hate it
shit.
when these
Job's
games
done
try
right.
to
George
moralize
is the bad
at
guy.
me
It's all his
about
fucking
these
fault.
things. Just shut up. I'm confident
But
in
what was
my
I
moral
supposed to do?
convictions, my
You don't
moral
know
and
what it's like,
political
Bigby.
convictions.
How could you know? At the end of the day, you're just like
You're
him.
not gonna hear it. Fuck you.
You murdered Faith and Lily. You put those fucking ribbons around their necks.
That was you.
You had
Take
the
some
power to
personal
let 'em
fucking
go.
responsibility.
You chose not to.
Exactly.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. If I freed them... What would you have me do? Kill her?
Georgie, don't.
It was them or Vivian. So you tell me, if freeing Lily meant she had to die. Do you still think I had a fucking choice?
What are you doing?
I told you.
What are you talking about?
This is the original.
The way Georgie says, fucking moron, sends me. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny because a lot of the time when they have voice actors doing well or not different English accents in games like this, they give the script that they give them is has Americanisms in it, so then they're saying Americanisms in this accent and it just sounds really odd. Oh, you're still the same fucking moron. Wolfing out in the night for people to see can't be good for them. Yeah, maybe, but you know what? At this point, it's like, I'm gonna cut my losses, because this feels more important. Hi, Senpai-chan, welcome. Thank you so much for the follow.
Girl with the ribbon. I'm sure you've heard the stories. Couldn't take it off, couldn't talk about it. She used her little purple ribbon to make more of them. To keep our girls quiet. To ensure absolute discretion.
Okay, I don't know the story.
You wouldn't.
All that magic is connected to this little thing. You remove hers, and the spell's broken. They're all free. But you know what happens to her? The same thing that happened to Faith. So don't you come in here and tell me I fucked up.
What the hell, Georgie? We were supposed to look out for each other. I trusted you.
You can't fucking blame me. You're not innocent here either.
I know that. But did it have to be like this?
Wait.
What the fuck?
These were your ribbons? You're in on this?
What the fuck,
I thought
Vivian?
you cared about them.
I do. Of course I do.
What the
You have to
fuck,
understand,
Vivian?
Nobody was supposed to die. When we built this place, it was just a stupid idea. A gimmick. Discretion is our guarantee.
What the fuck
How
are
it
you
started.
talking about? oh my god, I just started a little brothel for fun. I just thought it would be a fun idea if I started a little brothel, enslaved some little women. It was a gimmick. It was all for fun. I didn't mean for anybody to die. What the fuck? It's okay, Senpai-chan. I was a bit confused as to what you started saying there, but don't worry about it. Welcome. For fuck's sake, Vivian. Yeah, I'm where you're at right now, Faye.
This was supposed to be our place. We were gonna be in charge for once, and nobody would try to control us or use us. That was the point. Then the Crooked Man showed up and everything just turned to shit.
So, do you get it now? Why I couldn't just... If you still think it's so fucking simple, then you do it. Go right ahead.
Do what?
Kill her then.
Kill her?
What are you doing?
Break the spell. Save the fucking day.
Stop it.
I told you. Sometimes all your options are shit. What the fuck are you supposed to do then?
Don't talk about me like I'm not even
yeah,
here.
For real.
Please. You think this is hard for you? My life is such a fucking burden on your conscience. Don't I get a say? It's my life. Like it was either of yours to give up in the first place.
I wasn't really...
Just shut up. What makes you think you can just... I know what I've done.
Wait.
I'm sick of everyone thinking that they can just do what they want with my life. I thought it would be different here. But it's all the fucking same.
Vivian,
what the fuck is going on with
her? Do you think I wanted to be this person? What I did to Faith and Lily? To all of them.
Stop.
Vivian,
what?
Wait.
Every day I have to look Gwen and Hans in the eye and pretend I don't care. I have to forget what I've done to them. What I
oh my god, it's so hard for me. The way that I hurt several people and resulted in their deaths after like enabling them systematically being exploited is so difficult for me. You don't know how hard it is for me that all of these people are hurt and it is my fault.
I look at Nerissa and I hate myself.
Honestly, maybe
Vivian.
you should.
I can't pretend
no,
anymore.
What are you doing? Vivian, don't.
Listen,
Vivian,
this is her taking personal responsibility.
Fuck! No, no,
you know,
no! Why'd you have to do that, Vivian?
I'm sorry.
Vivian!
I'm sorry, but, you know...
Vivian, I didn't fucking mean it. I was just...
Okay, you two are fucking mess. None of this really, like, convinced me to be on their side or to support them or to be particularly sympathetic towards them. You two are a fucking mess.
Oh, fuck!
Get up. Get up!
Don't think so, baby.
Yikes. Oh, his guts are spilling out.
I'm gonna die.
I
here.
guess that depends on what the question
think we both
is,
know
Senpai-chan.
Just make sure you give the Crooked Man the same treatment when you find him.
We can ask questions here, and if they're appropriate, then I will answer them. And if they're not, then I won't. I really can't know unless you ask. The irony of her saying this when she had control over vulnerable people's lives and abused it. Yeah, absolutely. I am a bit confused as to how this was supposed to let them be their own bosses. Yes, like, what's going on there? I have no idea what she's talking about. I really have no idea what she's talking about. The attempt to wrap up this plotline feels kind of weak to me, but let's see where it goes.
Really fuck him up for me, alright?
He's gonna have it worse. Don't worry.
Good. Old foundry by the river, alright? Shepherd Metalworks. He'll be there. Fucking asshole.
Fucking
You wanna
asshole.
finish me off
Wouldn't
now?
you say arsehole? Not asshole.
Or do you plan to kick me around a little first?
This is the thing that I'm saying. It's like, you know, when the script has like Americanisms that someone maybe wouldn't necessarily say in their accent, and it hits kind of strangely.
One by one. That's what you want to do, right? Well, whatever it is, just get it over with. I'm not sticking around for much longer.
Just peace out, I guess. If you're gonna die, just... Fine. Fine.
No more games, alright. We both know how this ends.
But I would love it if you stopped talking, though. I don't want to hear you, like, dying
Just make
words.
it quick. I know what I did.
Okay.
All right, Georgie.
You chose to end Georgie's suffering. Rip in pieces. Yeah, that was very odd. I don't think they did a very good job of wrapping up that plotline, personally. And I apologize if any of that was somehow a result of me talking over part of it. Maybe that's why I'm confused. But I just still feel a bit confused. I feel like that wasn't... Yeah. You know, let's check the Book of Fables, because maybe we'll get some insight here. Okay, let's see what we got. Vivian's story, the girl with the ribbon. Vivian was the very first to bear the curse of the purple ribbon. Removing the ribbon would result in death, and any attempt to talk about it was thwarted by the spell upon it. As time went on, she tried to live a normal life. Eventually, she married a nice man, but he was constantly wondering about the ribbon around her neck. Despite her pleas for him to leave it alone, one night while she was sleeping, he attempted to remove it. As he pulled on the edge of the string, Vivian woke and saw what her husband was doing. In a panic, she pulled away, preventing the ribbon's knot from being undone. Furious, she tried to express the severity of his actions, but her husband was unable to understand. She realized then that she couldn't trust him and decided to leave. She lived alone for the rest of her days in the homelands, preferring the safety of isolation to the risk of another betrayal. Right. This is the girl with the green ribbon, but that's not fairy tale. Please tell me more if you have more knowledge, Faye, because I have never heard this story before. It was my Halloween costume last year. Nice. Yeah, I've never heard this story before. I don't know what that is. So appreciate you sharing any further knowledge if you have it. The pudding and pie, Vivian and Georgie's place. Vivian and Georgie met during the exodus from the homelands, and they helped each other survive the long journey to the mundane world. Upon their arrival, however, they found it hard to make a decent living. With what little money they had, they opened the pudding and pie. Operating a strip club may not have been the most desirable occupation, but they figured it was better to be in charge of a place like this than be forced through desperation to work at one. So you exploited other people so that you wouldn't have to be exploited? You can not do that. No, their whole sub-story was bullshit. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's some bullshit. I'm sorry. That whole plot line and the way that they tried to resolve it and the way that they tried to explain it, I'm not having it. That's some bullshit. I'm sorry. Quick trophy check. Boom. Boom. Basically the first part is the same, but when her husband pulls the ribbon, her head falls off and she dies. Right, okay. But is that... So, what is that? If that's not a fairy tale, then what is it? Let me Google it. The girl with the green ribbon... The Green Ribbon is a collection of is in a collection of horror stories called In a Dark, Dark Room and Other Scary Stories by Alvin Schwartz. and illustrator Dirk Zimmer. A collection of horror stories, poems, and urban legends, including the green ribbon. Jenny always wears a green ribbon around her neck. She meets a boy named Alfred. She refuses to reveal to Alfred why she wears the ribbon. Blah blah blah. The green ribbon is derived from a French story of unknown origin, which was popularized by Washington Irving's 1824 short story, The Adventure of the German Student. Okay, so it's not like a fairy tale. It's like a short story, short like horror story vibe. Yeah, it's funny. The definition for fable often seems quite loose, in that sense. Like, it's not always strictly fairy tales and stuff, it feels like. Anyway, that's the explanation behind that. Because I also, the story of Donkey Skin, I also had never heard before. I don't know what that's from. And quite a few of these I don't know where they come from. Or, like, Georgie Porgy Pudding and Pie is not a story either. It's a nursery rhyme. Yeah. Anyway, the more you know. Rip in pieces, Georgie and Vivian. Shepherd Metalworks. Late night.
Still warm. He's here, all right.
The Jersey Devil doesn't sound like a fairy tale either, at least to me. It sounds more modern. Yeah, agree. I've also never heard the Jersey Devil before.
Of course.
And it's interesting because, like, you know what I was saying, what I've been saying about how kind of some of this is, has been related to kind of like the class and gender politics of certain fables being accustomed to like a life of aristocracy and then moving to urban New York where they experience like a loss of the wealth and status that they had before and are kind of struggling to adjust to that, like materially and psychologically. If not all of the fables are from like fairy tales, then I guess those dynamics on a broad level become a bit more muddied, because if some of them are coming from like urban legends and stories like that, then you don't really have the same political dynamic. So I don't know, it's an interesting choice. I don't necessarily have any thoughts on it, like whether, but I don't know. I don't think you necessarily have to be like strict with your definition of a fable, like, but it's just an interesting choice. I don't know if I would have like blended urban legend and fairy tale together in the same way personally, but it's fine. I think maybe it just creates some sort of jarring effects sometimes, if that makes sense, because one thing is kind of like a staple of culture, like a prince and a princess and a big bad wolf and like blah blah blah, and then the other thing is like a lot more specific and has less kind of symbolic resonance, I guess, and like cultural resonance.
Is where they've been sending these.
Bigby Wolf.
That's me.
The big bad wolf.
Hey, Mary, is that you? Is that you, girl? Hey. Hey, girl.
You used to be something.
Hey, Mary. Everyone in chat's excited to see you. Oh, poor Faith. Rest in peace for real, Faith.
They used to fear you.
Okay, one of those classic, you're walking through a level and the villain is monologuing at you before a final boss fight situation. Classic. Okay, we got the trying to navigate a fixed camera angle situation.
Silver.
The big bad wolf.
I was away from my phone, but
It's
oh my god,
about time
hi! Hey,
I had to
Mary.
take care of some things first.
Little errand boy. That's nice.
Ah, Bigby. I see you made it here in one piece. I do apologize, but I have some business to attend to. I leave you in the capable hands of my associate. Come find me when you finish, dear.
Don't worry. This won't take long.
Get out of my way now. Don't make this worse.
Aw, he doesn't want to play.
I'm sure you'll persuade him.
Cut this shit out!
Didn't your mother ever teach you manners? Or was she too busy fucking whatever breeze drifted through town?
It's an interesting insult.
Oh, come on. Is that the best you can do?
Okay, I'm alert. I'm focused. Everything's gonna be fine. She is so hot, you're right. Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm not alert. I'm not focused. I lied. Okay, there we go. Shit.
Where are you? Come out and face me!
Oh, hey girl, hey! You didn't have to go and get dressed up just for me. I am loving this look, girl. You clean up real nice. OMG, indeed. This is, she's like, dare I say, this is a lot hotter than before. Oh, he's wolfing out. Pants but no shirt again. Hey girl, hey! Oh my god, there's a bunch of you! I feel that whatever lower estimation I could have possibly had of this game is made up quite a bit just by this sequence and how much I am enjoying the character design. In other words, yet again, being gay is my kryptonite. I'm quite enjoying the sound design on Bloody Marys as well. Oh my god, he huffed and he puffed. And he's blowing the door down. This character design is just so next level, I love it. Yeah, that's right, she's made up of broken glass like a mirror. That's okay. Rest in peace to the hottest and best character around. R.I.P. Mary, you hot, hot queen. Condolences in the chat, F's in the chat for Mary. Please, moment of silence for Mary.
Hello, Bigby. You look tired.
Give me one good reason not to rip you apart right now.
This gun holds 6... I won't miss next time. Before you do anything with me, I thought I should point out a few things. Snow White wants you to bring me back to the woodlands, doesn't she? And that's what I want. You plan to do what she says, don't you?
You sure about that?
Yes, I'm quite sure. You will bring me back alive.
Now, why would I do
Look,
that?
all I ask for is the chance to speak for myself in front of the community. And I'm sure Miss White would agree that I should be given a fair trial. Can we at least agree on that? I will have a trial.
The whole town will be calling for your execution. Why would you want me to bring you back there?
Why don't you let me worry about that?
Obviously, he wants to, like,
Look,
manipulate
there's no
the
reason
situation.
for us to be at each other's throats here.
That's
and to get out of the trial, so...
gun at my head.
This is just a precaution. I'm sure you understand.
I'm leaning towards killing
I'm no
him. They're gonna give me the option, and I think I'm gonna
didn't
kill him.
those women. And I think you know that. All I'm asking for is a chance to explain my side of the story.
If you're not a killer, then what are you?
I'm a businessman, not
A businessman is a killer.
There's still a lot you have to answer for.
And I will, as long as you agree to my terms. Because I'm not saying another word until I'm brought before the community.
Same diff, exactly.
And I don't think I'm being unreasonable. If you decide to do something stupid, like murder me, you won't get your answers. But you will have a difficult time explaining yourself to Miss White and the rest of this miserable town. You're often reckless. And I worry you're not thinking.
You're trying to manipulate me, and you're gonna try and manipulate everyone else.
What do you really care about
so...
Where this case is concerned, I mean. Do you really want the truth? Or do you just want to look like the hero? Because those are two very different things. You're smart, I'll admit that. So what I just don't understand is why you're here. I mean, you want to catch your killer, right? Georgie. He's dead, isn't he? My point being, the killer has been dealt with. You've won.
You really think I'm that stupid?
I understand you have an obligation to bring me in. But you can brighten up a little.
He's really,
It's over.
he's really
So,
trying to
shall we get going?
manipulate me into keeping him alive so he can wiggle out of this situation.
Looking forward to seeing Miss White again. My previous interactions with her have gone rather well.
Oh, I don't think so. We're not doing this your way.
You rejected the Crooked Man's
How
deal.
unfortunate. I was hoping we could make this... What are you gonna do now? Rip me apart like some kind of animal? Killing me here would achieve nothing. And what would Miss White think? You show up with nothing but a corpse. No answers, no proof. You'll never know the truth, and she'll barely stand to look at you. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
This is it for you.
Oh, his eyes are going red.
You said enough.
You chose to kill the Crooked Man. Sure did. Now, if this bears any resemblance to any particular recent events where anyone may or may not have killed someone who would also call themselves a businessman who very much had it coming because he was directly or indirectly responsible for the deaths of many people via a system of exploitation that is far-reaching, that may or may not be a coincidence. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Take what you will from parallels that may or may not exist. My last cigarette.
Where the hell is Bigby?
Okay, now before Snow White is about to give me a bunch of shit that I don't want to hear, I think the shattered mirror aesthetic could give leeway for Mary not being completely dead, or one clone managed to slip away possibly. Yeah, who knows? Maybe. Maybe. Let's hope so, says Buckwatch. Yeah, maybe we can hold out hope for our queen, Bloody Mary. I really do hate this game trying to moralize. Yeah, I mean, because so much of it is within the bounds of, like, law and order good, vigilantism bad, and it's like, well, no, law and order bad, actually. So they're not gonna fool me. If you guys are gonna learn one thing from my playthroughs of Telltale video games, it's that these games are gonna, some of these games anyway, I think that again, my favorites, which are The Walking Dead Season 1 and The Walking Dead final season, have slightly more nuanced approaches. A lot of these games are really fucking trying to moralize to me about, like, murder, and I'm just not having it. A silver bullet and my last cigarette. We're getting there. Okay, let's check the Book of Fables. Making a lot of assumptions about the political and moral belief system that I have, and none of them are hitting. Winter Wolf, Bigby's mother. Ooh. Bigby's mother, Winter, fell in love with the North Wind and bore him 7 wolf cubs. Oh, so his mother literally fucked the wind. But he quickly grew tired of her and left Winter. Heartbroken and alone, she tried to care for her cubs despite her grief. She was especially fond of Bigby, but as the runt of the litter, he was often teased by his older brothers. After Winter's death, Bigby's siblings went in search of their father, but Bigby stayed behind to protect his mother's corpse from scavengers. Unfortunately, he was too small to defend her. From then on, he vowed to eat something bigger each day until he was large enough to confront his father and finally make him pay for the pain he caused his family. His father, the Wind. Okay. The Big Bad Wolf, Bigby's true form. Bigby's true form, which I guess is the big puppy that we saw rather than the, like, werewolf version of him that we saw. His true form is that of a giant 8-foot-tall wolf. In addition to his iconic huff and puff power, he has also inherited other abilities from his father, the North Wind. This is quite funny. For example, Bigby is able to hold his breath for an abnormally long amount of time, making it impossible for him to drown. Mary's loyalty, part of the job. Bloody Mary began working for the Crooked Man many centuries ago. He promised her freedom to do as she pleased as long as she agreed to act as his personal bodyguard and hitman. Because of the Crooked Man's power and influence, Mary never had to worry about getting caught by the authorities. She enjoys her job immensely and would defend the Crooked Man to death, mostly because she finds it fun.
Oh, come on!
Where is he?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Are we sure he's coming?
Yes, any minute. And then we'll get started. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know it's short notice, but given the circumstances...
Yes, that does explain the joke about his mom.
What have you done?
Oh, God.
Bigby.
Shit. He killed him. Holy shit.
I didn't think you had it in you, Bigby.
Stop it.
You ripped him apart.
I told you to bring him back alive.
You really fucked him up.
What did you do? He's all...
You did this to him?
Why?
Why do you think?
Look at his neck. You killed him.
It's terrible. No, it's not.
What the
Thank you,
hell
Lawrence.
happened? Tell me. Tell me why you did this.
I think it's pretty clear.
He nearly ripped his head off.
Lucy, please.
Explain yourself.
Look at him.
Oh, God. Would it have been that hard to restrain him? Did you really have to murder the man?
Hang on. It's not murder.
Then what
Thank
would
you,
call
Grendel.
Justice, maybe?
This is not justice. You know it's not.
Why
Shut
not?
up,
This is
Snow
Bigby Wolf
White.
doing whatever the hell he wants.
I say it is justice, and that's the end of it.
Are you serious?
That is not the end of it.
Well, I think he did the right thing. If this guy killed Faith...
And my sister.
How can we be sure of that? Without a trial...
These are my bitches
what
now.
evidence do we have? We never had anything concrete. That's why we needed him here.
Are you telling me the killer might still be out there?
Georgie told me everything. The Crooked Man made him kill those girls. He gave the order.
Georgie?
Where's Georgie now? If we bring him in for questioning, What? Where is he?
Bigby? Is he still out there?
I sincerely hope not.
Well, where is he?
Georgie was a victim of this psycho, too. He was pushed into the
Well,
hole.
I didn't want to say
That doesn't answer the question.
because that's not true.
Georgie and the Crooked Man were guilty of murder. I made sure they couldn't hurt anyone else.
You mean...
So he's dead. Is that what you're telling me?
Brap, brap, brap.
I don't even know what to say to you right now.
Ka-chow. Ka-chow. Zing, zing, zing. That's right, Beauty.
The Crooked Man didn't deserve it. And if
Thank you,
Georgie killed
Beauty.
him,
Do you think anyone deserves this?
Your job is to keep Fabletown safe.
Job done.
The minute you start abusing your position by attacking people, we betray the trust
Girl,
of this
you're
community.
so, I'm
And killing those people out there on your own without due process. It makes us look like
killers.
How could you do this?
You shut up.
It's just
You
one
shut
thing
up.
after another.
Look, I'm glad he's fucking dead.
But like this?
I solved this case. The Crooked Man gave the order, Georgie carried it out, and I
liberal
took care of both
moment.
of them.
Exactly. These fucking liberals, man. These liberals are chatting in my ear. They're chatting in my ear like, oh, murder is bad. The law is good. Due process. Please. You're not fooling anyone. You're not fooling anyone. And your moral system and my moral system are not the same. We're not the same. We're not the same. Just quiet. Can you guys wrap up your stupid liberal moral crusade?
This is not okay.
Snow's right. This is disgusting.
Oh my god, coming from that guy as well. Coming from that fucking guy.
It's much worse than that.
What, are you guys buddy-buddy with the Crooked Man all of a sudden?
Okay.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Gran.
Everyone, that's enough.
I know who my bitches are now. I know who the
Bigby,
liberals
I
are,
can't
and I know
protect you
who my
without the
bitches
support
are.
of this community.
Oh, thank you for the follow, Almost Elise. I almost missed that, sorry. I don't get the little ding-a-ling sound in my earphones. Thank you for the follow. Welcome.
Minute you kill another suspect, I won't be able to stop them from calling for your resignation.
Honestly, good, because cops are bad, the police is bad. Don't want nothing to do with that shit. So, in the end, this is all gonna work out for me. You know what I'm saying?
And yours.
Not to take Bluebeard's side, but...
If that happens, I can't defend you. Do you understand?
He's not gonna listen to you.
Yeah, I'm not.
I need you to understand this. Listen, maybe you were right this time about the Crooked Man, but what happens when you're wrong?
Girl, I'm not gonna be wrong, because I'm not a liberal like you. I don't murder people for sport. I killed a horrible CEO who was systematically exploiting and murdering people. Hello? And I killed a pimp who was systematically murdering and exploiting people. I am not the bad guy. That is justice. You lib. I'm so mad right now.
You make a mistake about
She just
someone,
keeps talking and talking and talking.
I won't watch you become a murderer.
I think it's too late for that.
I know what I'm doing.
Having some personnel issues, Miss White? Can't control your mutt?
Bluebeard, this is hardly the time.
It looks like as long as the wolf thinks you're guilty, he has free reign to murder you. in
Oh,
your sleep.
you...
No, that's not
Is this
how...
what we can expect from now on?
Yeah, you make one mistake and Bigby's gonna rip your head off?
This is so stupid. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of you guys don't need to know this because I've, like, said it repeatedly. But these people are fucking idiots because what they're saying is stupid and doesn't hold water. Because I did not choose to kill them because they made one silly little mistake. I chose to kill them because they were oppressing people, because they were the oppressors in this situation of marginalized folks, women, and like racialized people in the context of Fabletown being the non-human fables. And you know what I'm saying? it's not the same, and they're all stupid. And this is rich coming from Beast, who I think it's consistent from him because I hate that guy. But it's fucking rich coming from him. Like, there's something about him riding in on his moral high horse that is so stupid to me. And the same for the fucking witch. She was making these glamours, and what was her reason, right? Like, some people were involved in this illegal glamour trade for more legitimate reasons of, like, desperation than her. But she was fine. Like, what's her excuse? And now she's being like, oh, if you make a silly little mistake, I've got my eye on you, witch lady. Because this is giving that she knows that she was complicit in, like, a shitty exploitative system. And now she's like, oh, so Bigby's a murderer now, and he's just gonna murder anyone for making a silly little mistake. But her silly little mistake is, like, making illegal glamours to be sold in a black market that enslaves people. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. First with Kenny, now with the Beast, the voice actor really voices absolute pricks really well. He does a good job. Let's look up this voice actor and give him some credit. I don't know his name, and we ought to know it by now. Gavin Hammond. Well done, Gavin Hammond. You do a really good job of voicing complete dickheads. It pisses me off when these games try to be all murder is bad, all violence is the same. Like, shut up! Yeah. Yes, I'm with you, Faye. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really annoyed right now at these characters.
Hey, that's not fair.
Nah, I'll just bat you around for a while. Make sure you get thoroughly fucked up.
Don't be ridiculous, Beast. I'm not about to...
You think I'm being ridiculous? We all know what you're capable of.
Well, do you have any intention of starting like a slavery ring or a brothel? Is that your intention, Beast? Because if it is, then you're in danger.
You nearly gouged my eyes out.
Beast.
Please, the sheriff isn't going to...
You see? The wolf does whatever the hell he wants, and the princess is no better.
Now, hang on a minute.
You don't believe me? They came to my apartment, and then for no earthly reason, she wanted my tree destroyed.
What? Why would you do that?
Yeah, but I didn't do it, though.
She was helping people glamour themselves as other Fables. We couldn't let that continue.
Yeah, and I didn't do that because I am not some fucking cop the way that Snow White is. I don't know why she's turning on me, even though I protected her tree from that horrible fucking bitch who was like, oh, it's against the law not to use a glamour. We have to enforce the law because the law is the ultimate good.
I'd say I'm fucking surprised.
I am. Snow, how could you do that?
Snow made the wrong call back there. That's why I didn't burn your damn tree.
I had very good reasons for asking you to do that. She was working with Crane and the Crooked Man.
So that makes me a villain?
No,
You can pretend it's about law and order, but it's time you stopped lying to yourself. You wanted to get back at me for what Crane did. But that doesn't justify it. You both just act out of your own selfish...
I don't know what she's talking about. Like, we literally didn't do anything to her. She's being a bitch for no reason. I feel like superhero movies and writing like this are conditioning people. You are absolutely correct, almost at least. So, I mean, this is a huge part of the whole reason why Game Assist is a thing. Welcome to Game Assist, anyone who's new to the channel. And why the purpose of this channel is to play these games and have the intention of having discussions about the politics of these games, because this is culture. And exactly as you're saying, superhero movies are culture and superhero writing is culture. And culture is, especially mass culture, that's kind of like mass produced and mass distributed, and that most people, like a huge critical mass of people consume, is propaganda. And I mean, Marvel movies are literally like funded by the US Department of Defense to be military propaganda movies. So it's no coincidence that like the writing is propagandizing to us about like the moral good of the military and often the police. And this kind of writing is, and I've kind of been talking about this game as being propaganda from the very beginning, and it totally is propaganda. And sometimes I think we fall into the trap of being like, oh, something is only propaganda if it portrays the police or the criminal justice system as being like totally good, but actually, it is also propaganda when the police or the institution are portrayed as like, you know, kind of corrupt or kind of muddy, but fundamentally good. And the issue is not like within the nature of the institution, but within, you know, a few bad apples who are corrupt or blah, blah, blah. And one of the tropes of propaganda is these narratives where a cop like Bigby, very much like Bigby, has this tension between going by the book and doing the right thing according to the law, or going vigilante and like blah blah blah. But these narratives reinforce the idea that cops are people and policing is an institution where people are ultimately trying to do good and do justice. And have those good intentions, and it's like a matter of whether or not they're able to stick to that moral high ground, which is what law and order is like represented as, and those flaws within the system are just treated as like, oh, if we reform the system to be more efficient or more this or more that, then everything will be fine. But that is, of course, not the case. Policing as an institution and the criminal justice system as institutions are like necessarily violent and necessarily bad. So even these media like this, that's like trying to present you with like moral complexity, or seemingly trying to present you with moral complexity, is reinforcing this idea that like law and order is a measure of goodness. And it's really interesting within this kind of format of the Telltale game because of the way that like the Telltale narrative episodic game with like the dialogue options and the choice options is trying to put you in morally challenging situations, and that's part of what people like about these games. But often what you find is that the game has kind of predetermined and constricted ideas of what is morally good and morally bad that you might not necessarily agree with. And a lot of the time on this channel when I'm playing these games, I find myself having to choose between 3 dialogue options and silence, or between 2 choices where some of them don't align with my moral system and my political system, because the writing in the game is reinforcing a liberal idea of morality where law and order is good. And you know, sometimes there are these like complicated situations, but ultimately it's good. It just needs to be reformed, it just needs to be made more compassionate, it just needs to be made more efficient, but it never is fundamentally evil and fundamentally needs to be scrapped. And you can definitely see how the game design in these games is making assumptions about what your moral and political beliefs are, and is putting forward what the writers who are coming from like a liberal belief system think of as morally good and bad. I've been thinking about the bad apple thing a lot in regards to Palestine, media trying to make it seem like it's just Netanyahu being corrupt and not a wholly corrupt ethno-state and government. Yes, absolutely. Israel by its very nature is a state, right, is an ethno-state, a settler colonial ethno-state, and it has been since before its inception, since it was imagined as an idea. And it's liberal Zionism, as opposed to kind of more, I suppose, more blatant extreme or right-wing Zionism, that presents this narrative that Israel just needs to be reformed. It just needs a left-wing government, yada yada yada. when in actual fact the state of Israel, the existence of the state of Israel is a political and material and moral evil, and it needs to be dismantled because the nature of its existence is evil. It's a really good parallel, almost at least. And for anyone who's interested, the command !YouTube in the chat will bring up our YouTube channel, and I've got a couple of video essays that look at this. In particular, I've got one looking at justice in games, and it kind of looks at LA Noire. That one's a bit more focused on like the police and other games that look at narratives about justice and revenge and morality, and how a lot of that, even the stuff that's usually considered as being more challenging, is still within like a liberal framework. And it's also a hopefully digestible way of getting to know Foucault's Discipline and Punish without actually reading Foucault's Discipline and Punish, which is a book that has a lot of really fantastic, important stuff in it, but is really difficult to read. So hopefully I've made that easier for people with that video. And I think there are a couple of other videos on the channel that look at those kind of themes, but it's mainly that one about justice that really looks at these kinds of themes. And there's one that I did recently on Palestine in Assassin's Creed for people who are interested in that. Anyway, okay, that was a whole thing, and I need a sip of water and to take a second not to speak. So I'm gonna resume the cutscene.
Desires. It doesn't matter what's right. At this point, I'd rather have Crane.
Wow.
You don't mean that.
At least Crane didn't kick the shit out of everybody.
Or destroy what's ours.
He also earned the position.
Don't start.
What the hell is wrong with you? You fucked up your own lives, dealing with criminals, making your own bad fucking choices.
You're losing the crowd.
And now you want to blame us for your screwed up situation. I've been trying to fix the mess you made.
How dare you?
Is this how it's gonna be?
You're gonna blame us.
Bigby's right. You people don't know what the fuck you're talking
Listen,
about.
if I've got Holly on my side, I'm in the right. That's all I need. You know what I'm saying? The people who are on my side right now are literally the marginalized people. So I'm good. If Holly's on my side, I'm good. I'm happy with my decisions.
Do you seriously think you want Crane back? He was an asshole, and he didn't do shit for any of you. Snow and Bigby found my sister, when Crane wouldn't even look.
Yeah, but they only came around when they thought it was Snow White who ate it.
No, they cared about Lily. They care about all of us. Even if they've got a funny way of showing it sometimes.
Thank you, Holly.
Oh, come on, Holly. Maybe Snow gives a fuck, but Bigby? I mean, this I get. But I didn't do shit wrong, and I got tossed around your fucking bar.
That was different, Gren.
Holly's right. Crooked Man took over my shop, but Bigby tried to help me out.
Okay, nice one, Fiona.
Everyone, please, just calm down.
We have a right to be heard.
This is very giving a last episode of Life is Strange True Colors, which is interesting. So for anyone who might not have played it, in the last episode of Life is Strange True Colors, there's like a town council meeting that Alex shows up to, and the townspeople have like a whole debate about I don't remember what they're debating, but anyway, they take Alex's side or not depending on the decisions that you made throughout the course of the game, and this scene is very that, which is very interesting. And this game came out before Life is Strange True Colors by a good few years, so I'm very curious about whether or not that was inspired somewhat by this.
Are you afraid of what we have to say?
This isn't helping.
I'm not finished.
Like we give a shit.
Need some help, Miss White?
Just a minute.
This can't continue.
Listen.
I still have something to say.
Listen, friends.
But I was...
Please. It isn't Bigby's fault. He can't control his nature. And frankly, I wouldn't dare ask him to try. Just as a scorpion stings, the wolf must bite. But with a sheriff so impulsive, shouldn't the new deputy mayor have at least some command over her?
Oh, shut up, Bluebeard.
Are either of them fit to run this town?
Can I say something?
Excuse me?
Nerissa.
Who the hell is she?
My name is Nerissa.
Let her speak, Bluebeard.
But
let her speak.
Whether Jed actually tried to kill Alex and cause the death of the miners, yes, that's absolutely right. It's very, this is a video game. Yeah. This is a video game. You made some choices, and the consequences of your actions are now having an impact. Yeah. Jay Themborn says, this does remind me of a shift where people were confused about the Spider-Man game, specifically why the cops are less present or absent after the first game, and at most they show up once or in Miles show up and whine about Spider-Man Miles, and why they rely on an app to find problems of people in trouble. Thankfully, I've seen some responses to that confusion with, no, that's accurate to how useful they are, and also you stop fighting drug dealers after the first. Okay, that's interesting. My TLDR and where I'm at with Spider-Man games is that ages ago I purchased Miles Morales on digital, and I've still never played it. It might be an interesting one to play at some point, but I don't think I will stream it, and I will no longer be buying Spider-Man games or any Marvel games because BDS, Boycott, Divestment, Sanctions, has called for a boycott of Marvel, and at Game Assist we have kind of in turn called for, in response to that, like to support that goal, a boycott of Marvel games. So I will not be purchasing any new or digital copies of any more Spider-Man games anyway. I mean, if you desperately wanted it, like, you could probably buy secondhand, which doesn't like directly financially support. But yes, just to say that. And Spider-Man Miles Morales, like, I've seen the Spider-Verse movies, which there's a lot to love about those movies, but it's a very good example, again, of, like, liberal propaganda. And I always find it insane. It's so insane. It's so insane that in the second Spider-Verse movie, there's, like, a mural that says "Rest in Power," and it's a fucking cop. It's Miles Morales' dad, it's the cop, right? And he's dead, and there's a mural of him, and it says "Rest in Power." I remember seeing that in the theater and being like, what the fuck? He's a cop. It isn't just for, like, any and all black people if those black people are agents of the state. Rest in Power is not for cops, guys, even if the cops are black. Yeah, it's insane. I remember seeing it in the movie theater and being like, what the fuck? Again, because of the boycott, I will not be seeing future Spider-Verse movies in the cinema. But yeah, fucking insane.
I haven't been able to speak my mind for a long time. We were prisoners at that club. We had nowhere to go. No one cared enough. Certainly not Crane. You're acting like they haven't done anything good in the last few days, but you know that's not true. Because of the sheriff and Snow, I can finally talk about what happened to me. To all of us. We're free now. And I think that should count for something.
Thank you, Nerissa.
Once again, the marginalized are on my side. So I've won. I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. I feel confident and comfortable in my decisions and my moral position because the marginalized people are on my side.
She's right. We haven't been there for you in the past. And I'll be the first to admit we've made plenty of mistakes. but I truly want what's best for this town, and we're trying to make things right. And that may not always be clear right away, but I want you all to know that I care deeply about all of you. And I'm sure Bigby does too. It's going to take some time to clean up Crane's mess, but he's gone now. The Crooked Man is dead, the killer has been found, and you can all rest easy knowing we're here to look out for you.
There's also, so I want to say something about how, okay, so you know how a lot of people rightly talk about how in the first Walking Dead game, the first season of the Walking Dead Telltale game, there's, I mean, it works, right, on a lot of levels. This isn't to say it doesn't work, but very transparently, Clementine is meant to serve as your moral reference point for a lot of that game. Very transparently. So there are a lot of points in that game where you are making some kind of moral decision, because that's the entire Telltale model, and Clementine will react to that decision, and possibly before the decision she'll express her point of view on the situation. And because she more or less represents innocence in that game, which is a lot to unpack, and you'll be delighted to hear that I have a video essay on Telltale's The Walking Dead coming up where I will unpack that a little bit. She is essentially designed to be the game's moral compass. And Sean Vanneman and Jake Rodkin have pretty openly talked about this in interviews when they've talked about the writing of the game. They've pretty openly said, you know, we needed in this game, like, Lee is making decisions, and we needed the player to have a reason to try to be good or make decisions that might not be beneficial for yourself as an individual, but might be morally better. And that key motivator is Clementine. In this game, fascinatingly, Snow White feels that she is designed to serve that point of view. She's not a child, but she is a white woman who is literally called Snow White, who, you know, whiteness obviously represents innocence in a lot of ways, which is like a very white supremacist perspective in a lot of ways. Snow White in the story represents innocence, and that's what part of why she's called Snow White. She's pure as driven snow. Like, the idea of whiteness as purity and whiteness as innocence, and in the case of this game, moral purity is very transparently a thing in the original fairy tale and in various tellings of that fairy tale. But in this game, you see it translated as Snow White is the figure that represents law and order, doing things the quote-unquote right way, which I disagree with, but according to the game, following the law is the right way. And she, in terms of the way that she either prefaces your decisions and kind of says that she's going to do something, or she responds to your decisions in a particular way, is a moral reference point for the most part. I wouldn't say that this is as, you know, quite as quite as much the case as it is in The Walking Dead, in the sense that I think that there are a couple of key points where Snow White's decisions are, you know, like wanting to burn the tree or wanting to take Colin to the farm. Even from the framing of the game, you can be like, okay, that represents law and order, but it doesn't necessarily represent moral good. But for the most part, I would argue that the cadence of a lot of these choices and the way that she is designed to either preface those decisions or react to those decisions and create a response in you as the player or influence your choice as the player is to be like, she represents moral goodness, and in this game that's law and order. Yes, Snow White in the story was also very young. She was around 13 or 14, like most of the girls in those stories were. So she does, you know, in the story, the original story, she's also a young girl, a maiden, because in fact in the English language the word for a young girl, a maiden, is also the word for virgin. So young girl has always represented purity in that way, because virginity represents purity, yada yada yada. And that's it, that's my thesis. Thank you for coming. I think there are some choices where she reacts the same. Clementine, yes. Yeah, I mean, it's not like as 100% constant, which I think is good. And there are some things where even though Clementine is not going to like it, you could still make a case for doing that thing. But part of the reason why is because The Walking Dead does a very good job of presenting choices that are difficult, not because of some kind of like abstract liberal idea of like the moral goodness of law and order, but because of the fact that sometimes people have to do difficult things to survive when they live in difficult material circumstances, like houselessness, etc. And those material circumstances lead desperate people to do desperate things. And can we morally judge people for that? Often we can't, I would argue, and shouldn't, I would also argue. But The Walking Dead Season 1 does a fantastic job of that, like, and it's, I mean, it's like the in many ways it's like the Telltale game in that, in my opinion. Like, it's the one that does the best job of accomplishing all of the things that the Telltale model is kind of sets out to do. But yes.
I'll make sure of it.
While that's all very touching, is it enough? I'm still not convinced Miss White has what it takes to control the sheriff or run this town.
Also, someone said Bigby can speak for himself, right? Yeah, and they're doing this weird thing now where they're being like, oh, Bigby is Snow White's dog. And I'm like,
I am. We haven't really given them a chance. Crane just left. Let's see what Snow and Bigby can do on their own.
I trust Snow to do right by us. Bigby too.
I think they've had enough chances.
Things are finally changing around here. Maybe you don't feel it, but I do. Bigby and Snow are good for Fabletown.
She's right. Now that things have settled down, I'm sure they can do better.
And we will. Right, Sheriff?
the way that Snow and Bigby are lumped together in this. Yeah, I've been thinking about that as well. And there is, like, you know, I've been talking about, I think that Snow White does represent everything that I've said, but obviously Bigby is also a cop. So this is more about, like, less about them as individuals and in a lot of ways about, like, the institutions of, like, government, policing, law and order, like the status quo, the capitalist institutions that of law enforcement, of you know, creating policy and enforcing policy, which I've done my whole critique of earlier. Yeah, and I guess it bears saying as well that when I was saying what I was saying before, I guess I was thinking about myself as a player, not Bigby as a character, of, like, feeling confident that I did the best that I can in terms of the decisions that I made, trying to adhere to my moral and political belief system, even though the game's choices are quite limited because of the kind of, like, liberal framing of the narrative. We didn't burn your tree! I know! Like, what does that woman have against me? Why is she acting like I burned her tree? I literally didn't burn her tree.
See that?
It's finally over.
Good riddance, at least.
This won't end well.
Shit.
It's over now.
Yeet! The north wind blows. Well, TMI, but one day later.
Hey, Sheriff. Are you gonna come see the truck off? We're leaving for the farm in a few. thought you might want to. I don't know.
I'll be down in a minute.
Oh, fucking hell.
Great.
This fucking line.
Does the game explain the wishing well? There's an explanation for the wishing well in the Book of Fables. The witching well is located in a chamber inside the woodland building where it is used to dispose of things meant never to be seen again. Dead fables are committed to its depths, as are the most unredeemable criminals. No one is entirely sure what lies at the bottom of the well, nor indeed if it has a bottom at all, but it is widely assumed to be the passageway to the final resting place. I wish there was a stop being a cop option. One of these days, I'm going to be playing a game that makes me play as a cop, but actually gives me the choice to quit being a cop. And that will be the day. I will celebrate that day. We will mark it in the calendar. It will become a national holiday, perchance an international holiday, because we don't all live in the same country in the Game Assist community. Yeah. Fabletown Justice. When a criminal is captured in Fabletown, the traditional procedure is to hold a formal hearing in front of the community or concerned parties. However, expectations are often made to expedite the process. In reality, there aren't any hard and fast rules for these types of situations, and the extent to which policies are upheld can depend on who is being charged. Right. So these guys are getting sent to the farm, which I really don't support.
Oh, Mr. Wolf? Flycatcher left his keys.
Listen, Snow, can we talk? I wanted to...
I'm sorry, Sheriff. I have to take care of this. We'll talk later, okay?
Oh, you dickhead.
Good morning, Miss White.
First time they've had Dave Fennoy playing a dickhead, I'll give him that. And hilariously, the character is not black, which is... good. I guess. I don't know. Oh no, Dave Fennoy in whiteface.
Someone's gonna see you, Colin.
I love you, Colin. Never change, Colin. Honestly, probably the best character in a lot of ways is Colin. Really, truly. Yellow Brick Roadhouse. I'm assuming that's a Wizard of Oz reference. Which, again, not exactly a fairy tale.
I'm going. Jesus.
It's like the style of a fairy tale, but it's very much a modern...
We only have like 5 minutes.
Hey, carry me for fuck's sake. I don't give a shit. You forgot these.
Oh, thank you. It's been pretty busy around here.
Morning, Sheriff. Nice fucking day.
Sorry about all this. I tried to help. I did. I did.
Sorry about all this. I tried to help. Just why the hell did she have to send me and me boy away, huh? You promised me I'd get another chance. But Miss White said I had to go up to the damn farm anyway.
She's a bitch. I hate her. I don't support her.
But she didn't want to hear it.
Wait, Sheriff Bigby.
Oh, baby boy. Oh.
You know, he was up crying all night.
Don't talk about him like he's not there. What's up, boy? What's up, kids?
Give this to Miss White, please.
Oh, anything for
Dad
you,
says
Angel.
There's no time to say goodbye, so if you could bring it to her.
Of course,
nice.
Of course I can, TJ.
Sure. I couldn't take them all with me, and she said she liked that one the
Honestly,
best.
honey, she doesn't deserve a gift
It's
from
the
you.
willow beetle. That's a big one. They're cool, cause when they're little, they have these pouches that squirt juice at you if you touch them.
I'm sure she'll love it.
She said it was pretty.
A bomb. I wish it was a bomb. I wish that TJ was already radicalized to the point that he was going to plant a bomb in the government office. Guy Fawkes of Fabletown. Stalk thing is a cute joke. Is that... I'm feeling dense right now. What is the joke? Is it a Jack and the Beanstalk joke? Or is it... I don't know, I'm missing it. Because I'm having
About ready to head out.
What's it like at the
silly
farm?
moment right now.
I've heard ogres live there, and they eat people in their sleep sometimes.
God, I hope not.
TJ,
Do we have to go?
you can come.
I want to stay here.
Well, we don't have a choice anymore.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, TJ. But,
I wish you could
look
come
on the
live with
bright
me.
side, okay?
I can
There's plenty of space to run around.
harbor fugitives.
There's a nice river nearby, so you can swim all you want.
Even in daytime?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the Monday seeing you. It'll be nice. Come on, it won't be so bad.
Have you been there before?
No, some of the animals aren't comfortable around wolves, so you wouldn't know, would you?
We're all set.
Bye, Mr. Wolf.
Bye, TJ.
Hey, Bigby. Where's your friend, Colin? Where's the fucking pig? I don't know. He, must have run off. Bullshit.
Grand Master Librarian. Okay. Whatever that means.
Saying goodbye?
Hey, Narissa. Hey, girl. What's up?
Hi.
Hi.
I like this outfit.
You're still wearing that thing.
Oh. Yeah. I guess I am. It's not easy to forget. I know it seems like I should be able to. It's just...
It's okay. I get it.
Listen, I came here because I have to tell you something.
What is it?
It's about what happened to Faith and Lily. I'm not sure where to start. Faith, Lily, and we had this plan. We were gonna find a way out. Leave the pudding and pie for good. But then Faith decided to get some leverage. She stole a picture of Crane and Lily together. The minute Faith stole that photo, we had dirt on one of the Crooked Man's allies. If he found out, I had no choice. You have to understand. You've seen how they kept us quiet in that place. Can you imagine the lengths they go just to silence someone who had physical evidence? I had to.
Narissa, what did you do?
I freaked out, okay? I thought if I came clean to Georgie, he'd get the Crooked Man to leave us alone. We could just forget the whole thing. Maybe try again in a few years.
You what?
Narissa.
So I told him everything. And I begged for mercy for all of us.
Narissa.
I didn't want anyone to die over a picture. Georgie promised he'd smooth things over with the Crooked Man. But then... Oh, God.
Here.
Fuck.
Thank you.
Once again, not touching her while she's crying or horribly sad, because once again, that's completely inappropriate and weird, and heterosexual media needs to stop. Stalk Thing is a play on Swamp Thing, since their Fables is a horror version of the Beanstalk. Ah, okay, gotcha. That is cute. Yeah, so... I understand why she did it, and I'm not, like, mad at her, but... Fuck. That was a pretty grave mistake, wasn't it? I don't know what to say, because I don't want to judge her, but also...
I don't know what happened, but that night at the
Shit,
club,
girl.
Georgie came back and told me things had changed. He had to make an example of us. We had committed treason. And while the two of us were sitting there, as he was telling me this, Faith walked in, and I had to watch while Georgie... It was my fault. I sold them out, and she just... That night, after Faith, I tried to warn Lily, but she wasn't with her scheduled appointment. So I did the only thing I could do. I left Faith's head at your doorstep.
You?
I walked her over here, and I left her, just hoping that maybe if I couldn't save them, could at least save the rest of us.
You were trying to get my attention. So you started all this.
I just pointed you in the right direction. People like us get forgotten all the time. The Crooked Man was counting on that. When we suffer, we do it in silence, and the world likes it that way. We just fade, like we never existed. I couldn't watch that happen to Faith.
Okay, this is making me sad. It's just really fucking sad, man. But I kind of talked about this a bit in earlier episodes, but I guess I briefly want to reiterate that, like, this narrative about, like, you know, these people, yeah, it's too real. You're right, Faye. That's why I'm sad, because it's very real. And, like, yeah, just this happening to sex workers and marginalized women, being murdered, experiencing horrible violence, and people, we know it happens, and people just want to look away and pretend it's not happening. All of that is very real and very horrific and very sad. And just a, I guess, quick reminder that it doesn't have to be that way, and we can do something about it. And we need to. We have to do something about it, all of us. But this narrative that, you know, the issue is that the police don't pay attention, people don't care, and if the police only paid attention, then they would actually help, is what I disagree with, right? And yeah, I talked about this earlier, because the police, you know, when women report sexual crimes to them, when women report domestic violence to them, like, nobody ever receives that help. And the reason why is that the police don't exist to help us. They don't exist to protect us. They don't exist to support us. They exist to protect the ruling class. And so the idea that if only the police knew, if only they saw, if only they noticed, then they would do something about it, is one of the things in this game that's like propaganda, as we've been talking about. Yeah, I think this scene, this moment, and this kind of narrative moment is what is really actually, like, resonating with me emotionally. I feel like horrible for Nerissa, because I understand why she did what she did. It's just tragic. Like, and it wasn't her fault. Like, she didn't start this. This isn't her fault. You know what I mean? She was in these horrific circumstances, and there was very little that she could do, and what she did, even though it was a grave mistake, is so understandable why she did it. And it's not her fault that they're dead. It's Georgie's fault, and it's the Crooked Man's fault, but it makes so much sense that she would blame herself, and that's just horrible. It's just horrible. I've heard that the ones that do, they get fired. Yeah, cops that actually try to help. And I think that that's like a nuance that's valid to bring into this, which is that some people, because to be fair, we live in a culture which is inundated with propaganda, right? So some of us, we think the police are good. You know, for a good part of my life, I believed that because that's the, you know, what we're taught to believe systematically, before kind of unlearning that and unpacking that and being where I am now. But and join the police, or want to join the police out of genuinely wanting to do good in this world because of believing these narratives. The issue isn't the police, the issue is corruption, and I'm a good person, and if I join the police then I can do good. And what many people experience is that either they become part of the system, which is that being a cop means that you enforce violent laws and you're a tool of the state to protect the ruling class and to enforce violent laws on marginalized people. You uphold the status quo, you commit violence, you protect the people doing the violence. That's what being a cop is. And so some people are turned into that, and they don't question it, and they don't, you know. Some people try to fight that, and they learn the hard way that doing the right thing has no place in that system because that system is evil. So, you know, even though losing your job is a difficult thing, that's ultimately in the long run a good thing because those are good people that want to do good in the world, and being part of the police isn't the way to do that. So hopefully, at least for those people, those lessons have been learned through something bad, like unfortunate happening to them, which is, you know, getting fired from their job. That, you know, hopefully they know now that the police is not a good institution. So, yeah.
Or Lily. Nobody cares about us. Not really.
I'm sorry, Nerissa. I'm sorry that's what it took to get me to pay attention.
It'll be different now. You'll make things right. You and Snow.
I don't know. It seems like no matter what I do, it's just not enough for her, or anyone. I just can't win with these people.
I know it might feel that way, but they need you, Bigby. Both of you. You two make a good team.
Again, a terrible analysis of the situation. Bigby could have learned things from this experience. For example, law is bad. Enforcing the law is bad because the laws are bad. They're racist. For example, the law of imprisoning non-human fables. That's bad. But he has not learned a thing. And he's, for some reason, blaming other people for not being happy with him instead of, like, questioning the system that he's a part of.
The way you look out for each other, and look out for us. You don't see that a lot these days.
I don't really know where we stand anymore. Things are just different.
Huh. Things are always different. Look, Bigby. After everything you've done for us, maybe they don't want to admit it, but without you, none of this would have happened. You listened when no one else would. You knew when to show mercy, and you brought justice to this town. Finally. If you hadn't killed the crooked man back there, he would have just talked his way out of it like he always does.
Can you hear the people singing this song of angry men? This is the music of a people who will not be slaves again. Sorry.
Where I'm standing, you did the right thing. You've been given this job for a reason. And I left Faith at your doorstep because I knew if anyone stood a chance against the crooked man, it was you. You've changed this place. For better or worse, Fabletown wouldn't be the same without you. You're not as bad as everyone says you are.
Glad everyone enjoyed that.
I need to tell you something.
I have to tell you something.
I feel like we've met before.
Trying to place me. You like my ribbon?
When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes.
He said he wanted to run more tests.
I hope you find what you're looking for.
I don't really understand what this choice is, but
I'll see you around, Wolf.
okay. Well, okay, that's it. That's the game, huh? It's interesting because I was thinking in that final, like, basically courtroom scene that they were setting it up for a sequel, and that definitely sets it up for a sequel as well. Which is not a surprise because they've done that with a few Telltale games. That's the one. Because after The Walking Dead, when you had the whole thing where it was like Telltale just ballooning and taking on a bunch of IP and trying to make a shitload of money by just like churning out these narrative episodic games, then a lot of them were set up to have sequels so that they could make more games and they could make more money because people love buying sequels, yada yada yada. Like with the Telltale's Batmans and with this game and blah blah blah. And just thank God that The Walking Dead was a story that rounded off and closed off properly. Although it is potentially a bit bloated, particularly in the third season, but anyway. Yeah, wait, what is also where I'm at. I didn't really understand what happened there. The implication being that Nerissa is Faith, I think. Yeah, I don't really understand either. Very good questions, Faye, which are but why and also who is dead then? Yeah. Well, I guess I can understand why people are so desperate for The Wolf Among Us 2, because that cliffhanger is a bit like, what? But if it never gets made, I can live without it. But it would be interesting to see where it goes. What did you do to Georgie? You and 68.6% of players killed Georgie. That was like ending his suffering or whatever, because he was going to die anyway. Did you give the Crooked Man a trial? Oh, wow, I'm super in the minority on this. So you and 10.4% of players killed the Crooked Man at the Foundry. Everybody else gave him a trial. Whatever, you guys. Did you walk out the witching well? Out of the witching well. You and 84.7% of players stayed until the end. I didn't realize that I had a choice there. I don't know what that's talking about. 10% is wild. I don't know what that's about, because I feel like usually decisions like that are a lot more split, but people, wow, 90% of people are, I don't know what to say to you guys. That was a choice that you made. Did you accept TJ's gift for Snow? You and 98.5% of players decided to accept TJ's gift for Snow. What kind of monster 1.5% of people would reject that gift? What were your last words to Nerissa? You and 8.4% of players stayed silent. Oh, I didn't know that that was going to be a whole thing. Okay. So, it's because they both said you're not as bad as everyone says, and the memories have both it up. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, but it also doesn't make sense. Like, what? Like, who died? What? I don't know. Anyway, okay, let's see. Special stats. Beast. You lied to him about seeing Beauty outside the apartment, because he's a piece of shit, by the way. I consistently throughout this, Beast is a piece of shit. Hate him. Fuck that guy. Beauty, you promised her you wouldn't tell Beast that you saw her outside the apartment. Beast is like, she's white womaning. She's not white womaning as hard as Snow White by any stretch of the imagination. She is white womaning a bit, but it's like you could radicalize her, you know what I mean? Like, I could fix her, is what I'm saying. Famous last words. But I could fix her. Bluebeard, you fought him after the interrogation. Wait, no! I wanted to see all of my special stats. I didn't... Fuck. Hopefully I can go back and look at those. Fuck. Come on. Sorry, I'm going to skip through the credits because I want to... No, I'm sorry, I won't. I don't think I will be reading these graphic novels. Hello? How do I see my special stats? Here we go. Thank God. Okay. Butcher, you offered him protection at the business office. Colin, you gave him a drink when he asked for one in your apartment. You helped him avoid the farm. Crane, you slapped him. Kef, Faith, deceased. You gave her money after the fight with the woodsman. Yeah, except I guess maybe she's not dead, but then who is dead? Who died? Georgie, you smashed up his place. You took money from Georgie's safe. Deceased. Yeah, fuck that guy. Don't regret anything. Gren, you drank with Gren after Lily's funeral. You know, bit rough around the edges, but I think fundamentally he's an alright guy. Lawrence, you went to his place first and you prevented him from dying. And then he was on my side, yeah. Narissa, you gave her a cigarette during your final conversation. She fucking deserved it, man. She needed it. Snow, you brought her along with you to the trip trap because women can make their own decisions. Tiny Tim, even if they're bad decisions, many of Snow's decisions were bad decisions. Tiny Tim, you chose to wait for him because I wasn't going to be a weird ableist prick about that. TJ, you accepted his beetle and promised to give it to Snow. I still can't believe that anyone would reject him. Toad, you stood up for him when Snow wanted to send him to the farm and you gave him money. I'm pretty happy with my decisions overall, you know? I don't really feel very conflicted about any of that. Anything I feel conflicted or unhappy about was something outside of my control. It was like the game's narratives and the game's framings. So I'm pretty satisfied with that playthrough. Okay. And I don't have the big trophy because I missed a few of these. I assume maybe I can grab them later on by making different decisions. I hope so. Okay, here we go. The last entries into the Book of Fables. A new order, Snow White in charge. With Crane out of the picture, Mayor Cole has officially appointed Snow White as the Director of Operations and Deputy Mayor in his absence. Many would say this promotion is a long time coming, since she was instrumental in the establishment of Fabletown and personally ensured that many Fables made it to the New World safely. She's also been doing the work of Deputy Mayor unofficially for years. Sheriff Bigby. After fleeing the homelands, Bigby wolves spent many years wandering through Europe. With a Fable colony quickly developing in the New World, Snow White and Feathertop tracked down the wolf and offered him passage to Fabletown. He agreed, and Snow cut him with a lycanthropy-stained knife to give him the power to change into human form at will. Bigby became sheriff of Fabletown under King Cole's administration, but because of his violent past, many Fables didn't trust him, and he was banned from ever setting foot on the farm. To this day, he struggles to redeem himself in the eyes of the community. Okay. Well, guys, that's it. That's the game. That was The Wolf Among Us.